My name is Rich Rosenbaum. I worked for John Hancock Financial Services in Boston, Massachusetts, and I worked in their long-term care experience analysis division. So the hours are pretty lenient. As long as you put in your 40 hours a week, you could come in, leave whatever time you wanted, essentially determined by your team and when your manager needs you to be there. So I worked on one larger project throughout the throughout the summer, and a few other ad hoc projects along the way, including helping with some quarter end duties. Sure. So the large project I had was called the quarterly termination monitoring. Essentially, we would monitor our progress each quarter to make sure our assumptions were accurate and to make sure they were giving us accurate results for our reserves. We would take actual to expected ratios of these reserves, of the policy counts, of policy amounts, to make sure that the assumptions we were using in our model for lapse and mortality were accurate and enabling us to project our reserves correctly. I did have a mentor, and it was very helpful. Actually, we went out, we would get coffee, she would take you out, she took me out to lunch, and it really just gives you more of a friend, or a mentor that mentors you professionally, giving you professional advice, how to network, how to do things like that. But also, if you have a question that maybe you're not comfortable asking your manager, you can ask your mentor and really go to them for advice that just personal advice about working at the company, how to do certain things, blah blah blah. So even though it wasn't long-term care isn't directly covered in a lot of the actuarial science classes, I think my classes of modeling 1 and 2 definitely helped a lot, simply due to the fact that I was able to understand the, impacts of certain areas of life insurance on the company as a whole. I was able to see premiums come in, expenses come in, how do those balance each other out, how does the company make money? And by doing that, I was able to kind of get an idea of how other products can make money as well. So the premiums for long-term care and then the claims for long-term care, I was able to better relate those due to my classes and studies for modeling 1 and 2 and exam MLC. So I was initially just contacted via phone interview. I did a few more phone interviews after that, and that was essentially it. They made me an offer, and a couple weeks later, and I accepted. They provided housing, which was great. It was a 5-minute walk from Fenway Park, and it was free in Boston because Boston's very expensive to live in, and it was just overall a great experience. 13 interns this summer. We worked all across the different departments, pretty much one intern per department, and we had 2 different locations in Boston, and we were pretty much split half and half the interns in our Back Bay office and then half the interns in the Seaport office. So it gave you an opportunity to really meet everyone around the company, because we'd have events at both offices. So we'd be able to travel there for networking events, for presentations, and we really got a feel of how the company works as a whole. And one thing I thought was great is that all the interns live together in the housing, so that really builds some camaraderie between the interns and allows you to really know them on a more personal level outside of work. I worked there last summer as well at John Hancock, so that was my second summer. I have had 2 outstanding experiences where I learned a ton. I met a ton of great role models, got great experience to executives in the program and at the company, and it was just overall a really good experience.